Okay, so let's be real. Have you ever been hit with a financial emergency that just feels impossible? And I'm not talking about a few $100. I mean a massive five-figure problem that needs a solution like yesterday. This isn't some what-if game. This is a real story about how one woman stared that kind of crisis down with less than a month on the clock. So let's dive in and see how she pulled it off. So let's meet Jessica. She's 28, a nurse out in New Jersey. Totally normal life, right? Works hard, earns an average salary, super responsible. But, and this is the part a lot of us can relate to, she was basically living paycheck to paycheck. Never really thinking that one single bit of bad luck could just detonate her entire world. And then it happens. Picture this. It's a rainy night, her car just dies on her. The mechanic delivers that one sentence, the kind, that just changes everything. Cracked cylinder head. And the cost to fix it? A jaw-dropping $9,800. For a car she absolutely positively needs to get to her job. All right, so you're thinking, what about her emergency fund, that safety net everyone tells us we're supposed to have, right? Well, this was it. $340, that's it. The gap between what she had and what she owed wasn't just big, it was a frickin' canyon. So this is the moment of truth. She's staring at two options, and both are terrible. Option one, take out a bank loan with a brutal 18% interest rate that would basically have her trapped in debt for years. Or option two, this completely insane, wild idea to try and save $10,000 in just 30 days. You guessed it, she chose the challenge. Okay, so you don't just jump into a challenge like this without a plan, right? Jessica went into full-on strategy mode. She sat down and literally mapped out a three-pronged attack to take on this impossible goal. She knew she had to go all in on every single front. The plan itself was super clear, super logical. First, cut every single expense down to the bare bones. Second, find new ways to make money with side hustles. And third, sell anything and everything that wasn't absolutely essential for quick cash. On paper, it looked foolproof. But you know what they say about plans. Reality was about to hit her hard. And that first week, it was a brutal reality check. Her brilliant plan immediately ran into some serious roadblocks. The pressure started building almost right away. This is really where the true story begins. So she started with what seemed like the easy wins. Jessica went through her bank statements with a fine-tooth comb, looking for that low-hanging fruit. Canceling all the subscriptions, Netflix, the gym, that saved her about $147. Then she found out she was overpaying for car insurance by $45 a month. Hey, they're small victories, but still a very long way from 10 grand. Next up, the side hustle. Her first shot was, well, a pretty humbling experience. She signed up for Uber Eats, thinking she'd make some decent cash. On day one, she brought in $67. Not bad, right? But then she subtracted the cost of gas. Her actual profit? Just $34. Yeah, way less effective than she was hoping for. And then the disappointments just started piling on. She signed up for medical transcription work. Great idea, right? But the first project wouldn't even start for 2 weeks. Plasma donation got her a quick $100, but you can only do that twice a week. Even her landlord offered a discount on rent, but only if she paid 3 months up front, which obviously she couldn't do. It just felt like every single door was slamming in her face. That initial optimism, it was fading, and fast. And just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. The ultimate test. She gets a call from her sister. Their mom is in the hospital with a heart issue. Jessica has to get on a plane, but the ticket is $600, money she absolutely does not have. Suddenly, her financial crisis is crashing head-on into a family crisis. At that moment, she just felt like she'd completely and utterly failed. But sometimes a crisis is exactly what you need. This became her turning point. That emotional rock bottom forced her to totally rethink her strategy. She realized her first plan just wasn't aggressive enough. She needed to pivot, and it was gonna have to be a painful, fast pivot. So, what did she do? She started selling everything. And I don't just mean random clutter. We're talking about things that had real sentimental value. Her beloved DSLR camera, a designer bag she'd saved up for, her old iPad, even her ski gear. With every item sold, she got some cash, but it also came with a real pang of sacrifice. So what was the result of that huge, painful sell-off? $1,300. It was more than enough for the plane ticket to go see her mom, and you know what? It was the first time in this whole mess that she felt like she was actually in control. And that whole experience just gave her a completely new perspective. She said it herself later, "I learned that keeping people is more important than keeping things." The good news is her mom recovered, and that crisis, it didn't break her. It actually lit a fire under her to finish what she'd started. So with this new focus, she started looking for smarter hustles. She realized that just trading her time for a few bucks an hour wasn't going to get her there. She had to get smart. She started leveraging what she already had, like using her apartment for dog sitting. But the real key was leveraging her high-value professional skills as a nurse. That's what really changed the game. All right, so here we are, 18 days left on the clock and still thousands of dollars to go. She's doing it all, selling stuff, dog sitting, and picking up every single nursing shift she can get. But after all that struggle, all the pivots, and all the sacrifice, did she actually pull it off? She did. On day 30, she checks her bank account, and the grand total, $10,247. She didn't just hit her goal, she blew past it. She walked right into that mechanic's garage and paid the entire bill in full. So what's the big lesson here from Jessica's journey? This final breakdown is actually super useful. The high-skill, high-payoff stuff like her nursing overtime, way more effective than the low-paying gig work. And yeah, cutting the small subscriptions helped a little, but the real game changers were those big, bold moves where she leveraged the assets and skills she already had. And Jessica's final thought on all this really shows you the true cost and the true reward. She said, "I saved the money, but I paid with sleep and a social life." See, the real win wasn't just getting her car fixed. It was this deep, unshakable confidence she earned, knowing she could handle pretty much any obstacle life throws at her. Honestly, Jessica's story is just an incredible example of resilience and smart